Hello to everyone and welcome. Today I want to show you how you can use Vertex painting for small props, because most of the time they have several colors, but we don't want to use a couple of materials for them. So we're going to add all the colors in one texture, and we're going to paint them inside Substance Painter. So follow along and we'll see how we're going to end up. So for the start, I think to sculpt one sword and later we're going to paint it. But if you don't want to watch the full process, you can skip ahead until we reach the vertex painting. So let's begin with this sword. It's going to be free sculpt. I don't have nothing in mind. I don't have a reference. So we're just going to do something. So let's first I'm going to insert and extrude, enter Alt and S to extrude these faces out. I think I need this middle part to be longer, so S and X. Actually I selected both of them. Anyway, we're going to do it this way. Let's turn off this X-ray, select this face, and now we're going to insert again, and now extrude, enter Alt and S. So I always forget to turn on this screen keys. So if you want to follow here what I'm pressing, and I think maybe one more time, insert and extrude, enter Alt and S to extrude this out, and I want to make this sharp, so I'm going to merge the vertices at center. Also in this side. So let's select them and let's Alt and S to scale them out. Yeah, this middle part should be wider. So let's turn on the X-ray. Let's select these vertices and S and X like this. And I think to select this also and S and X and add a little bit more. Now let's create so I think it's gonna be like this, and from here we're going to have the blade out. Let's add one loop cut here, and I want to select this both vertices, and we're going to move them like this. And I think I should make this a little bit longer. You will see in the end how it's going to end up. So let's turn off this X-ray and let's insert we're going to add two loop cuts on both sides. And let's select these vertices here and S and X to move them here a little bit on the side. Let's change to face mode and extrude like this. So now let's Control plus and let's select also these faces and let's move this a little bit down. Now turn on the X-ray and select these faces and move this a little bit up. And now turn on the edge mode and select all, and we're going to remove these edge loops. And now we're going to mark a seam and mark a sharp and select these edges, and I want to bevel them for one segment like this. And also here, let me try if I bevel for one segment. Yeah, it's look okay. And now here we're going to select these faces and also this in opposite side, and I'm going to insert and extrude, enter Alt and S and pull this in. I pulled too much, so S, Alt and S, and let's move it a little bit out. Yeah, we're going to leave it like this. No, I think it should be smaller. So no, let's insert again until this point, and you know, I think no, let's insert it to this position, because here they starting to breach in. So now we're going to use loop tools and we're going to bridge, and let's select this and let's bevel. And now let's add one cylinder, and I need, I think 6. Yeah, I will need 6 vertices. And now let's go to edit mode, and we're going to S and X this. So let me move it so you can see what are we doing. So yeah, S and X like this, and let's change to vertex mode. Let's select these vertices and S and Y. Now turn on the X-ray mode so we can select all of them, S and Y to move this here on the side, and S and X to create the overall shape of the blade. So let's go to Z and let's select O, and we're going to rotate 90 degrees. And let's turn off this X-ray and let's move this down so we can see that this fit here on the handle. Now we're going to join these vertices. And we're going to loop cut here in the middle. And now we're going to turn on the X-ray mode and we're going to select these vertices and move them up. Now we're going to select the middle one and we're going to move the middle one up like this. Now select this and we're going to pull this up. So maybe like this. I think this can be a little bit longer, and select these vertices and move them a little bit down. Now turn off the X-ray and change to face mode and select these faces. And we're going to insert and extrude, enter Alt and S and extrude in. And now let's turn on the X-ray again and let's change to vertex mode and let's fix these vertices, so move them up. Now let's mark some seams and some sharps. So let's select this one, this one, this one, and this one, and this one. And here, this one, and this one. And also this one. And here, this one, and this one. And let's mark a sharp and mark a seam. So this is the blade. Now let's create the handle. Now we're going to start with cylinder, but we're going to add some vertices. Okay, let's change to -Z. We're going to scale this and S and Y to scale this to fit here on this metal part. S and X just a little bit. Let's add move tool. Sometimes it's disappearing, and yeah, we are okay. Now S and Z to scale this. So this is just exemplary. This is just an example. I don't know how this is going to fit. So maybe you can use one reference. later on. So you can see how it's fit in the hand of the character. So it depends how for what you're going to use this. Is this one hand sword or two hand sword? If it's two hand, you need longer handle and maybe a little bit longer blade to be something like a great sword or something like that. But I'm going to keep this like that. So let me mark a sharp and mark a sharp, and in edit mode we're going to shade smooth. And now I'm going to show you how you can wrap let's say a leather around the handle. So first we're going to add plane, and we're going to rotate it x 90 degrees, and we're going to move it here down. Let's go to edit mode, and we're going to subdivide for 3 times. So basically what I need only this side here. So let's change to vertex mode, and we're going to delete these vertices, and we're going to use only this 5 here. So I'm going to S and Z this down, and we're going to move this here in the beginning of the handle. And now we're going to add screw, and we can change it to y-axis. Let's move origins to the cursor, and now we're going to add some levels, and let's move this up like this. You can see now it's moving up. You can add more if you have a longer handle, you can see, but I want to be on top of each other. I don't want to have space between the leather straps. So we're going to move this to 5, and let's move it down like this, and I'm going to S and Z this like this, and I'm going to move it down. And now I'm going to add more levels on this. So now I have what I need, and now we're going to add the form, and we're going to let me find it. We're looking for shrink wrap, and now we're going to go to object mode, and with this eyedropper we're going to select the cylinder which we use for the handle, and here we're going to go to outside surface, and let's add some offset. So we can see where are we going. And now I think we should do this handle a little bit longer, because we're going to have problem with the shrink wrap here in the end. So now let's select again. First let me hide these other elements. So let's select the wrap again. No, let's select the cylinder again and move it a little bit up. What I want is that we have here the complete part, because if it's down, let me show you, it's starting to causing problems here, and later on it's going to be difficult to fix this one. So let's move it up. Let's check also down part. So yeah, it's fine. So now we're going to add solidify, and let's add some thickness, and let's add this screw modifier, and also this shrink wrap, and let's go in edit mode, and turn off this edit mode so we can see how it's going. So what I want to hide this one, and also this one. So basically what I need, so this is the, let me select this one. So I want to Alt and S and move this a little bit out. Also this one, Alt and S, and I want to move this little bit out, because this is going to be on the top. Now let's unhide this thing, and let's go to object mode, and let's see how it's looking. So let me try something. Before that, let's again hide this one. Let's change to H mode, and let's select this one, and this one, and this one, and here also on the top, and let's mark a seam and mark a sharp, and now we're going to add the solidify modifier, and let's go back inside, and yeah, this is what I wanted. So basically we don't need this inside part of this leather, so this is extra vertices. So now what I'm going to try to do, but we're going to need this one. So let's mark a sharp and mark a seam, and here we have one corner also I want to do, mark a seam and mark a sharp, and here on the down part we do the same. Select this bolt, mark sharp and mark a seam, and now select the face mode, and with L select this inside part. So basically we should have select everything inside, every each face inside, and now we're going to delete these faces, and now we have just this outside part. So let's go back, and let's shade smooth, and this is wall topology wrapped. We can add subdivision here. It's going to look much better. You can see it's look very nice. If you want to use this for some cinematic, or you need high quality, you can always add subdivision surface, and yeah, but for our case we're using this for the game prop, so we don't need this, or you can leave it to one level subdivision, it's up to you. So now let's remove this one and let's continue. Let's unhide this so we can see here maybe S and Y a little bit. Little bit more S and Y and S and X, and a little bit more S and X. And now we can delete this cylinder which we use for the shrink wrap. So I'm going to leave it like this, but you always can fix this. You can go and make, let's say, the handle a little bit bigger. Actually, yeah, I think now it's fine. And I think the handle is a little bit shorter, so let's move this down a little bit like this, and now I think it's looking better. And now let's create this down element here. So let's let's mesh, sorry, Shift and S, and let's add one cylinder. Let's reduce to, no, let's do it 24. Okay, 24, and let's rotate X 90. Let's move this down like this, and S and Y to scale this to this point. And let's go to edit mode, and let's select these 4 faces, and let's extrude. Let's select O and S and scale it a little bit up. So S and Y like this. And now let's select these faces, and we're going to extrude. Enter, Alt and S, and extrude them out. I'm going to insert and extrude, enter, Alt and S, and extrude in. And now you can delete these faces. Select H mode, and with Alt and F you can grid fill, but also with Control and F. Let's grid fill, yeah, now it's much better. And also we can do the same in the other side. Control F, grid fill, and we have a nice topology here inside. Now turn on the X-ray mode. Let's select vertices, and let's SZ0 to straighten this up, and we can move it a little bit like this. And you can select all and scale this a little bit down like this. And let's turn off this X-ray mode. I think now it's fine. Now let's mark a seam and marker sharp these edges. Okay, also this one. Let me check again. Did we select everything? Yeah, so let's mark a sharp and mark a seam. And here you can select these two and mark a seam just to break here the infinite loop. Here we have this little bit visible from the handle, so let's select O and S and Y and let's scale it a little bit out. Yeah, I think now we are fine. So let's shade smooth. Here we have one edge we didn't select, so mark a sharp, mark a seam, and now we should be fine. It's okay. We have the sword. Now we can select all. First, let's delete this camera, this light source. Let's select all. Let's move this little bit up, and now you can do one thing. Let's check. I think in this project I have reference of the human body. So the one thing you can do is you can select to add the reference and to check if the size is correct before we go to. I think it's hidden somewhere here. Yeah, here it is. So let's copy this and let's go here and yeah, do you see the human is almost 2 meters and this sword is it's too large. So let me close this project and now select the sword. Let's join and let's scale this down. I think this size it's okay if it's a short sword. So let's delete this and let's move this here in the middle. Control S, cursor to world origin, origins to 3D cursor. And now we're starting with the part where we going to using the vertex painting. So first in edit mode I want to select this blade. Let's go to vertex paint and select this icon here, vertex selection, and here you can choose color. So for the blade we're going to choose, let's say, red, and we're going to set vertex color. Now you can see this blade, it's red. Now let's go back to edit mode. It's easier for me to select them this way. So let's select this part and this part because they're going to be the same color. And let's go to, sorry, not to weight painting, vertex paint. And now we're going to select the color. Let's add some blue. And we're going to set vertex paint. And now you can see the handle is blue and the leather is the last. So let's go to edit mode and let's select this leather and let's go to vertex paint and choose a color. So maybe some brownish, and let's set vertex color and sorry. And now you can see we have 3 different colors. And let's go back to edit mode. Actually, we're going to go to UV editing. Let's move this here. And let's select all and let's Y, and we're going to unwrap conformal. But first I want to reset all transforms and set origins to geometry. And actually I forget, I want to do something else, so let's go back to layout. Let's go back to edit mode. I want this part here in the middle to be different color, so let me select this faces and let's go to vertex paint. Let's choose maybe white blue and let's set vertex paint. And I think this is fine okay now, but here I see I miss these edges. So let's mark them sharp and mark a seam. And here also. Mark a seam and mark a sharp. And let's go out. Yeah, now I think it's fine. So let's go back to UV editing and let's select all. Actually, you can add maybe 3 edge loop cuts just to have some here. Okay, now let's Y unwrap conformal, and I don't like these long parts here, so somewhere we have to break the loop. Let me select this one and hide it. I'm sure it's somewhere here. let's mark a seam and let's try now. Yeah, now the problem is gone. Okay, so let's unhide this. Let's move this a little bit here on the side. Let's do it one more time, conformal. And now let's add material. So let's add new. Here in the base color, we're going to add image texture, and let's create new, and we're going to make it 4096, also 4096, and here we're going to make it UV grid, and let's add image, and here let's check the preview. So why we're doing this? To check our texel density and is everything going well, because you don't want your textures to be different everywhere. So now I'm going to set my texture density. Now first we need to select all and set my TD, and here in UV packer we're going to set it to not rotation, and let's pack, and here is our UVs. So now we can, let's go to layout, and we can file, export FBX, and here we're going to click this selected objects only, and here we're going to choose smoothing groups or face or edges, doesn't matter. I'm going to choose edges, and we're going to export, and see you in the Substance Painter. Okay, so we are inside Substance Painter. So let's add new. Let's change the resolution to 4096, and let's select, find where did you save your sword FBX. So open, and okay, and here we have our sword. So let's go to baking menu. No, actually first let's return to painting mode, and here I want to add also ambient occlusion, and now we can go here and let's fix the adjustments here. So you can choose, if you want middle quality, you can choose 2K, because this is small props and there is not that visible. So you can choose 2048. If you want to 4K, you can choose 4096. For now I'm going to choose 2048. We're going to use low poly as a high poly, and here for anti-aliasing you can choose by 4, and here in the mesh map baking you can choose also height, because we can use it eventually, and yeah, for ID, select ID, go to mesh, and here we need to change to be on the vertex color, so that we can use vertex colors which we add before that. And now we can bake. So let's bake. and until we're waiting, I have a question for you. So we are doing video game assets, but most of the time I am so formal, and what can I say, because I'm new to this, to record what I'm doing. Most of the time I am so focused on what I'm doing, so I'm forgetting to speak. So anyway, my question is, do you like to play video games, and what kind of games do you play? So for me, one of my best favorite games, it's Prince of Persia, The Warrior Within, and I am still hoping that someday they're going to make a remake for this game, and I will be happy if I see what you're going to write in the comments. So please, tell me, what do you think? So now we can continue with the sword. So now let's add some metal material which we're going to use for base. So let me check this steel paint, and I'm going to remove this coating. So yeah, this look nice. And first I'm going to start with this letter. So let's find this letter material. There is one I like very much. I think it's this one. Let's check. No, it's not this one. Yeah, it's this one. So it's leather creased. I like this one because it's creasing here the edge. But now you can see we have this leather on top because we have only one material, and here comes the vertex painting. So not now what we're going to do is, here we're going to add black mask, and we're going to choose this magic I don't know how it's called, magic something, and here we're going to choose add color selection. And now when we press the right button with this pick color, now you can see we see our colors which we did inside Blender. So now we're going to pick this orange color, and you can see we paint with the leather only the part we needed to paint. And now we're going to repeat these steps for the rest of the elements. Actually, I will have three. We have this guard part, and also this here in the middle, which is a different color, but we will see for that. So now let's choose color for the guard. So now let's check. Let's see this steel. Yeah, this don't look bad. Maybe if we play a little bit with the color. I'm not going to play that much. I'm going to use ready materials. So you want, if you want, you can play how much you want. So let's do the same. Let's add black mask, this magic wand, and let's select, let's pick the guard. And now we have only the guard with this color. And maybe we can change the colors a little bit. So let's see. No, I don't think so. So, actually I think this color is nice. And let me find this where. So actually what I want to do is add uh, some details here. Let's reduce a little bit this, and here I can add some height, and let's move it a little bit like this, so that you can see that it's a little bit outside. But I think this is too much, so let me reduce the wear level. This anyway, later on I can add some grunge, so actually I can do it now. On top of this, so let's find something with the, what is this? Let's add it as a mask. And now we're going to change it to triplanar projection, and here we can add height, and we can move the height backwards a little bit. So now we can add some damages on top of the metal, but I think this is too much, so let's move it a little bit. And one way we can disable, so to be without color, and you can multiply, and you can choose what works for you. I think overlay it's okay now, but actually we add it also in the other elements, so the easiest part, we just move this inside this folder, and now it's only here on this part. So now we have the guard, we have the handle, and we have the blade. So let me check. So if we change the color of this coating, so I want to be gray, but also we reduce the roughness, it should be more shiny and add the metallic. Because I want to use this damages on top of the edges. So let's play now with the color. And let's check if we switch a little bit the color of the metal to make it a little bit darker. I'm going to reduce a little bit the metallic here. Let's add some height on the wear. And now we can see what kind of material we can add to this middle part. So let me check down what do we have here. Iron ore. Oh, this is too old. So iron forge. So yeah, I think we're going to stick with the iron forge. So again, black mask, magic wand, add color selection, pick up color, and we're choosing this middle part here, and we can add a little bit roughness. So let's go to base color and let's reduce it down. So now it's shiny, but it's a little bit darker because I want to add some I don't know, some elements here in the middle. But first I'm going to start with the handle. So let's close this one. And this color, I think I can change to be a little bit more darker. So I think now it's fine. And now we're going to add paint layer. And now we're going to add some resources. So here, import resources, and here I have some alpha maps we can use for the sword. And now you can select them all and choose alpha and import. And now we have them here. So you can create one paint layer, and one way is you can choose the brush and select one of the images, and here you can choose size, and you can add this here, but first you need to make some adjustments. So for example, we need height, also roughness and metallic, and can add some height. We can reduce the roughness to be more shiny and add metallic to be metal. And now you can see it look like it's carved inside the metal. And you can pick up something else and just add some stuff on top of it. Let me try with this one, but we need to adjust the size. Maybe this one. So normally when I'm creating that kind of things, I'm picking up the sword, and I have one project with the ornaments I can show you now. So here I have different sword, and I'm starting to add these ornaments so I can see how they're going to fit exactly for this sword, and later on I make them alpha maps. I have video how I'm doing this, so I'm going to leave the description, you can check it out. So when I create alpha map, they are exactly for the sword I'm creating in that moment, and it's much easier because now we need to improvise and just add some stuff on top of it. So let me try this. Yeah, I think this is going to work. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, like this, a little bit smaller. I'm not going to play that much. So let's add, actually I don't like this roses here. I think this element is enough, and I'm going to add 2 pieces here. Like this. And now we're going to use the pen tool. So actually I'm calling this pen tool, but it's paint along path. I'm calling this paint tool because it was paint tool I think in Photoshop, doesn't matter. So So let's reduce a little bit the size. Now we're going to add height, roughness, metallic, and let's add some height. We reduce the roughness and add metallic. And now let's reduce the spacing a little bit, like this. And I think it should be a little bit smaller. So let's make it smaller, like this. And let's do it in the other side. So let's enter. Let's move this a little bit down. Like this. And we can add some element here. And let's reduce the size. So I think this is inside Substance Painter. So let's export these textures to Blender. So here you need to select where you want to send them and what kind of files. So you have Unreal Engine 5, Unity, but for now we need Blender. Here you can choose in which folder you want to export the textures, and let's export them. And one more thing in the beginning, so here you need to change this to project, and here also we have ambient occlusion if you want to use one, and also you have the height map if you want to use the bump, but height map I'm going to leave, but ambient occlusion I can use now. So let's go inside Blender and let's add our textures. So let's go to shading, and we select this and shift Control and T, and we opening the folder where we have our textures. We select them all, and you should have this node Wrangler, and we just add them. And now here we have our sword, and for now I'm going to leave this ambient occlusion, but you can add it. It needs more tweaking. Now we can see we have one material and we have all the colors on top of one material. So normally when I started to sculpting, I was do everything on different materials. So I had one material for the guard, one material for the handle, one material for the blade, and also you have some, if you have some other element on the blade. So this makes four materials just for one sword, which is not acceptable for the game asset. So let's go to layout. Yeah, we don't have HDR, it's dark, but anyway. So this is our sword, and I hope you like this video, and please subscribe. It's going to be of great help, and see you in the next video. Thank you and bye.